Welcome back to another walk-in video here with Thai Learning Lifestyle. So if you're considering learning the Thai language and you don't know absolutely anything where to start, this video is gonna be perfect for you. I've done countless hours of research on all these forums, Reddit, how to learn any language, YouTube videos. I put together a list of probably some of the best language learning materials to learn the Thai language. And in this particular video, I'm gonna compile everything together about the resources I'm using, get a brief overview of how I think currently about the courses. And I do plan on making full in-depth review videos of everything I'm using. So please, if you like content like this, like and subscribe to this video because I put out weekly content to help you with your Thai learning. So if you're looking for products on the market, say if you're on Amazon.com, if you're going to all these different websites or bookstores, you're gonna find hundreds of actual products out there. And to be honest, probably 90% of them are absolutely garbage. And that's what I discovered when I was doing a lot of research or I started learning the Thai language, is that absolutely a lot of things on the market just aren't that great, and it's not gonna produce any types of real fluency if that's what you're looking for. The first book that I want to recommend and resource for all my Thai learners is going to be the Thai for Beginners book from the book series from Becker. Now, if you go online, you probably see a lot of people recommend this book, probably for good reasons. So my initial impressions, again, I'm going to do a full review later. So some of my other resources that are way better, say for audio, resources that are better for grammar, this resource breaks down everything nicely. And like, this is your vocabulary list with context. It provides slight conversations that are not the highlight, unfortunately, of this series. It's going to provide the sentences. I find the sentences are great. It reminds me of like the Berlitz self-teachers, if you know anything about that series. It provides a lot of repetition of the dialogues, of the vocabulary that you just learned. And I find that to be one of the highlights of this book, along with this very clear vocabulary list. It kind of puts everything in order, while some other series are not so organized in that way. Now, the audio is of some great quality. Now, it is old. If you do have some nice pair of headphones, you definitely hear the background noise in the back, but you actually don't hear too much background noise like the colloquials or teacher selves. The audio is very clear, but it's also a little bit too fast for a complete beginner. When I first listened to the audio, I actually struggled at first because it was kind of hard to hear the tones 100% because they spoke very quickly and more out of a native speed than some of the other books that are slightly slower when you first start off. So if you're fresh to the Thai language, this may not be the best first book to use. One of the highlights of this series is that it actually has an intermediate book as well and an advanced reader that's going to be used a lot by me for reading practice and writing practice. And it's actually one of the only book series that offers any type of advanced learning of the Thai language. Yes, there's FSI with its very, very unnatural speech and repetition. But the series provides, a little bit more bite and substance that can get somebody to a good, everyday talking level. From my research, I haven't touched the intermediate book besides glancing through it. It does show a lot more vocabulary, though, in the intermediate book that's very lacking in the beginner's book. But it is a great series to use and probably is a must-have for any beginner starting off their Thai learning journey. Now, my number 2 resource that I'm using is the Assimil Le Thaï book. Now, if you didn't know, there's 2 versions of this book on the market. There is the original older book that's like an introduction to the Thai language. It's not as in-depth and it does not include the Thai script. Some people said the audio has a lot more of a formal and not commonly used words in it currently. Now, I definitely find the newer version of the Thai Assimil book to be very user-friendly. Again, it is only offered in French. There's a few ways you can go buy this. If you already speak some basic French, you might be completely fine using this book as a beginner because you're not going into a very deep conversation of the Thai language. You're going off of a very surface level, again, of the Thai language with multiple topics and situations and thoughts that you may be completely fine if you have a basic knowledge of French. Another thing you can do is use like a Google Translator with an app on your phone, take a picture of the page and translate it over to your native language, or just use the book for audio. Now, the highlight of the Assimil book is that it contains probably the most very clean audio that you're going to find of a beginner's Thai language book on the market currently. It has over 100 lessons, very well put together, thought out, a very good quality book they offer if you do the book option. And you get a good sized vocabulary, right around 1,200 to 1,500 words. Some of the cons I've seen with this book already is that it doesn't really go over all the grammar in a very clear detail at times. It introduces things very quickly in a sentence and say like, it means this. But the more you start studying the Thai language, you start realizing that just like any languages, words and phrases change with context. In Thai, you actually have to know the context pretty well of understanding what the words are actually meaning. And it doesn't explain that as clearly at times. And it starts off very, very user-friendly in the beginning. Around chapter 20, it starts picking up pretty nicely to 30, 40, 50. I never felt like there was a drastic climb. So it was a steady progression of learning the language itself. But it was certainly around lesson 70. They bring on a new person in the audio, a new character in the stories that they're telling about in the book. At that point, right around lesson 70, that's where I'm at currently, the difficulty level of the Thai Assimil book went absolutely insane. So I'm used to the Assimil books right around level 50 to 70, having an increase where you start feeling like these lessons are taking longer. Now, the lessons themselves are still relatively short now. So you're not getting really over 10 lines of conversation, but the amount of time it takes to learn some of these words that they're hitting you with, the Thai words have gotten drastically longer. They're speaking much, much quicker now, using a lot of idioms and colloquiums, and it's definitely made learning each chapter take a lot more than the original 30, 45 minutes. Unless you have a good understanding of the Thai language, right around lesson 70 out of 99 of the book, you're going to have a lot of difficulties. And this is where I pivoted and started picking up the Thai for Beginners book and the Thai Teach Yourself that we're going to go in here shortly. I already knew this was going to happen. That's why I said in my original video of the series that there'd be a time around lesson 50 or so that I'll start learning from other materials. And this is when I'm regrouping, relearning, going over the chapters in Assimil over and over and over. Because I already been through this before. I know this is going to be somewhere around this range. It's going to be a roadblock. So if you're just using just the Assimil book, life is going to get much harder. You're going to have a lot more questions. You're going to need another book of these 3 resources that I'm recommended if you're going to seriously learn the Thai language. Number 3 is going to be the Teach Yourself Complete Thai. Now, this particular book came highly recommended from other YouTubers online, that this person is the author themselves is a learner of the Thai language, and they provide great context and everything of the language for you. But I seriously felt like the audio in this book was extremely lacking. Of the 3, the Thai Teach Yourself was the worst in the audio quality. The dialogues were very, very short, very surface level. All 3 had some of the weakest dialogues of all the books that we're talking about today, and provided the least amount of repetition and usage of the vocabulary that you're learning. It didn't have that much bite to the Teach Yourself Thai book, unfortunately. The dialogues were lacking, the audio was lacking. But there was one saving feature of this book, is that it was the best one going over the explanations of the grammar. So lesson 8 so far in the Thai for Beginners, lesson 70 of the Assimil Thai book, and practically finished now the Thai Teach Yourself book. The grammar explanations were very well thought out. They're very clear. They provide some of the best grammar explanations of the entire Thai series that I've been researching so far. Now, I am aware that this author of this Teach Yourself book has a Routledge essential grammar book that I'm looking into right now, considering purchasing, depending on if I get any more stumbling blocks with the Thai grammar. Am I going to be using a lot of advanced grammar using the Thai language? I don't know yet, but it is something that's on my radar. I'm going to put a picture of it right here, and might do a review on it later if there's any interest in this particular book. But I do discover while I was going through the Teach Yourself Thai book, that the vocabulary is very lacking. I felt like most of pretty much everything that's in the Teach Yourself book was explained better in the Assimil book with vocabulary wise. I felt like the natural sentences and repetition were way better than the Becker book. But the saving grace of this Teach Yourself is the grammar. But I do wonder if you could skip the book altogether and just get his grammar book, would it be as easy to read? It might be. It was a very quick read to get through this Teach Yourself book. It wasn't like there was any stumbling blocks if you worked any bit of the Assimil book or if you worked any little bit of the Becker book. It seems like everything was already well put together in these other books, and this book wasn't needed besides just the grammar. And the number 4 resource that I would recommend using in your Thai learning journey is going to be YouTube, obviously. Now, there's tons and tons of YouTube channels. I went through a lot of them. I discovered which ones I liked, which ones I didn't like. And like always, I did the hard work for you. I did the hours, I did the research. And now I like to share what are some highlight YouTube channels to learn the Thai language. So number 1 YouTube channel is I Get Thais. I'm using his video right here about learning the Thai script, how's everything pronounced. He does have some incredible videos that go over basic grammar structures of the Thai language, pronunciation, and his videos are well put together, thought out, researched, and he puts a lot of substance in his videos, and it's just not some, random person on there that happens to be attractive, telling you all this random stuff that's not as good of details. His details are pretty nice. Definitely subscribe to his channel, check him out, let him know I sent you. Number 2 Thai YouTuber that I've been listening to is actually for native speakers of the Thai language, called Slang O Ho Lick. Now, I definitely recommend his videos if you want a very native speed sample of the language. What I do find is that a lot of his interviews are very similar. So you get a lot of repetition about who are you, what you do for work, and a lot of colloquialisms I definitely pick up listening to his channel. And I personally love finding out about different cultures, environments, food, and he actually covers all these topics pretty well. So I get to learn about how does somebody from, say, India experiences Thailand, or somebody from so-and-so country, like their experiences of learning about Thai, the Thai culture. I definitely have interest in the actual content of his videos, so it definitely helps out greatly when you're watching a YouTube channel. And number 3 YouTube channel that I recommend learning the Thai language, it's Pechet. So it's this young female who goes around, she interviews people, she talks to people, but her favorite parts of the series is when she works with this actually Chinese person who went to Thailand. They're learning about Thai food, Thai culture. They're going to all these Thai traditional places, and they're using their very basic Thai with one another. It kind of reinforces the words you already know. And it's kind of like one of those things that, it's a guilty pleasure because I know it's a very basic level Thai, but I do enjoy it because I understand so much what's going on when they're talking about what type of food they want. Oh, this food is spicy. But you get what I'm saying? It's just very basic Thai, but it makes you feel like you're actively involved with native content and you're understanding, 90% of what's being spoken. And it's probably one of the most encouraging things. We're actually seeing progress, but it's a very superficial progress because it's obviously made with a native speaker of Thai speaking to somebody who's learning Thai for the first time. So you get a very basic level of the Thai language, but it definitely makes you feel like you have progress. And it's something interesting to listen to that's not just, YouTube channels that are made for people learning the Thai language, because for me, those are some of those boring content on the YouTube channel, market space, whatever this is, every day, Thai pod, how to say hello, how to do this. It's just not as fun as engaging as watching somebody experience Thailand for the first time. Now, to actually the Netflix, I did recommend that in a previous video. I was watching The Girl from Nowhere. I have since stopped watching that series. I did stop losing interest in the series when I realized everything that's happening is so disconnected that one event doesn't, go on to the next. Started realizing that the words and the usage of phrases was changing a little bit too much for me to really learn pretty much anything from the series at my current level. So I've since stopped listening to, Netflix, focusing on the Thai language. I did try to listen to some of the popular Thai music on the market currently. I did find two artists that I kind of vibe with and I can listen to. Again, listening to music when you're studying a language may not be the best thing because the language in singing is going to be different than the language in spoken, but it is nice when you take the lyrics of a song and you write them down and you get to learn all the words. It's definitely motivating to anybody learning a language because at the end of the day, that's why we're learning a language, is to actually use it. So I don't know if I'm saying the names right, but one artist is like Pun, Pun, and the other one is Mayu. If I'm saying these wrong, leave a comment below. But they're two male artists who put together kind of like a hip hop R&B vibe. That's something that's very similar to what I would listen to here in the States. So it makes listening to the Thai language a little bit easier than listening to something that's more of a classical Thai song. Now, if you enjoy videos like this and you're learning the Thai language and you want weekly videos to help motivate, support you in your Thai learning journey, please like and subscribe. I put out weekly videos reflecting on my own language journey, tips, and events and things that I'm integrating the Thai language in my everyday life. I have a lot of videos planned moving forward. So definitely like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.